Namaste. How are all of you? I bring to you the best New Year's wishes to each one of the O&O family from the Academy. Many of you went back from Enlightenment Festival with an awakened, enlightened consciousness to celebrate Christmas with your loved ones. I hope your state added magic to the time spent together. And it is with this newly awakened consciousness you entered the new year. We hope it's been a great new year beginning for all of you. Great beginnings are marked by faith, the faith of having a richer life, one filled with greater love, joy, togetherness, opportunity, and abundance. It's the promise of expansion in your being, in your experience, in your knowledge, in your family that makes the year meaningful, one that we can look forward to. It is faith that the universal intelligence is there flowing through us, making our life abundant. It is faith that makes us wake up to a new day, a new year, and a new future. Great beginnings speak of distinct actions. Actions born of a new mind and evolved consciousness that channels higher forces of life and universe. Great beginnings are those that make remarkable change to people and life around. Let this new year be filled with many such great beginnings, unfolding a beautiful, abundant year and decade. Let me share some news from closer home. In India, the new year started with the harvest festival. The abundance of the crop comes home, reassuring every heart with security, prosperity, and a life of satisfaction, a life of fulfillment. It is also symbolism that through the year, one would harvest a variety of crop in their consciousness. During this time, we convey our heartfelt gratitude to our loved ones and share the yield with friends and extended family. This is an important occasion for all of us, for the sun moves into Capricorn. It is considered very auspicious. Approximately 5,000 years ago, during the great Kurukshetra war, Bhishma, the revered grandfather of the mighty Kuru dynasty in India, gets hit and was lying on a bed of arrows. He holds on to his last breath until the sun starts moving towards the northern direction. For ages, people prepared their consciousness for this day, for they believed it impacts their consciousness and supports in having great awakening. It is also very significant for us at O&O because Ekam, as you all know, is a 3D structure of the sacred Surya Yantra. The sun god charges Ekam every morning as it rises. And on this day, Ekam becomes extremely powerful. For over 10 days, faculty spend time meditating and holding intentions for all of us, for the vision of Krishnaji and Preethaji to come true. And finally, on the auspicious day of the harvest festival, at an appointed sacred moment, we at Ekam had a very auspicious Homa in the honor of the sun god. Krishnaji and Preethaji graced the occasion and blessed all of us. I am sure most of you joined us that day online and in consciousness with your intentions and received the fruits of the Homa. Let us move forward. Have you all heard Preethaji's New Year message to her family of O&O? And let your hearts dwell on it. Meditate on it. Set your spiritual vision. Let us now together listen to Preethaji's message for this new year.
Namaste. A very happy new year to every one of you. Let us share with you 10 simple practices with which you can enter the new year. The first practice, around the body, there are 3 simple practices. Regulating your breath is the shortest route to longevity and vitality. The more you slow down your inhalation and exhalation, you activate your body's relaxation response. The second practice, our health and smile are correlated. The more you smile, the more joyful you will be. And the more joyful you are, the more vitality your body's cells generate. As children, we smiled more than 300 to 400 times a day. As adults, we only smile 12 to 15 times a day. Let us return to our childhood by smiling frequently and experience greater vitality. The third practice is to walk. In the process of evolution as human beings, we have walked over large swaths of land for thousands of years. However, the unfortunate consequence of civilization has been a sedantic life, and its most painful consequence is on the human brain as early degenerative diseases. This new year, make a resolve to walk at least for an hour a day. Around your work, you may begin 2 practices. The fourth practice, be present and experience life. Do not rush. Rushing through life creates a distorted sense of time. You never feel a sense of achievement. To conquer the feeling of feeling overwhelmed and to be more creative, be more present and undistracted while at work. The fifth practice, live with a purpose that involves impacting others. When you live with a deepest sense of connection, you experience a larger sense of self, and this will earn you tons of good karma and lead you to great achievement. Let us move on to practices around your relationships. The sixth practice, physical touch is an essential part of life between parents and children, between couples, and between caregivers and care receivers. All life exists in a fabric of connection. Animals and plants touch each other. When you touch each other joyfully, the toucher and the touched both feel nourished. Happiness passes from one to the other. The seventh practice, feel more grateful by becoming conscious of all you have received this past year and the wonderful people you have around you. Gratitude is the antidote for fear, and gratitude invites abundance. Let us now look at practices for the health of your mind. The eighth practice, if you are in a troubled situation, remember that this circumstance too will pass like numerous others. This will help you become free of desperation. It will free up the movement of life's energies at a spiritual level when you are in a troubled situation. The ninth practice, make it a point to simply recognize the emotion. This will help the overactive amygdala in your brain become less active and the prefrontal cortex become more active neurobiologically, which means the anxiety and anger center of your brain is calmer and your brain center for awareness is more active now. The final and the 10th practice is for your consciousness. Realize that you are a part of a larger consciousness, call it universe or God, and that this universal intelligence responds when you connect to it from a beautiful inner state rather than a disturbed mental state. Wish you a joyful new year. Let this year be filled with love, happiness, joy, and abundance.
Let us spend some time dwelling on the message given by Preethaji so it becomes our way of living this new year. The first practice she was speaking about is around the body. There are 3 simple practices. Breath is the vital force of life. The power of breath is vastly undermined by the general masses. We take it for granted without ever realizing how much it is part of our every experience of life. It determines the quality of our being, the functioning of the brain, our intelligence, and the presence we bring to one another. It is therefore an important lesson to learn to breathe right. Right breathing is simple yet extremely powerful. Take conscious breaths and make your exhalation longer than your inhalation. Do you know how many times you breathe in a minute? The more the number of breaths you take in a minute, the unhealthier you are, both in mind and body. Slow down your breath. Make it deep. And how often do you smile? As children, we needed no reason to smile, and we were the most beautiful people to look at. As we grow into adults, no greater reason is enough to elicit a smile. How sad. More so, we smile to hide our reasons. Smile more this new year, for your smile has a direct impact on your consciousness. It is a small gesture, it is a small practice with a greater impact on your consciousness. Lastly, for the body, she is asking us to walk an hour. Human brains evolved as we walked. We walked great lengths and evolved into social beings, thinking and reflective beings. Over the past few decades, our life has grown sedentary, hurting us, hurting our brains. We might be functioning, but we can't grow or realize our full potential sitting for long hours as couch potatoes. So in her message, Preethaji is making us firstly conscious of our bodies and is prompting us to live conscious of our body. When your body is healthy, it affects your state naturally, making the experience of life richer.
When I was learning this conscious breathing practice, I was surprised to hear that something so simple that can be practiced almost anytime, anywhere, could have such a big impact. I mean, it's breathing, right? But when I practiced it for the first time, it took a bit of time. But quite quickly, my breath turned into like this experience that felt almost magical. Like it's hard to put into words and hard to describe, but the emotion that I had was just this absolute sense of joy coming just from breath. Yeah, looking back, it's like, it's almost strange. How can this joy just come from breathing, right? What a powerful practice. I didn't expect such a simple breathing practice to have such a big impact on me, on my state, and be such an easy way for me to connect to myself, to joyful emotions within myself, to this great calm and peace that's within. And I also practiced this this morning. I was taking a little walk and I was in nature, and I thought, what a good time to do this conscious breathing practice. And I did. And again, this great emotion, just after a little bit of time of getting into it, this really strong emotion of joy just came back. As my breathing was flowing, joy was flowing as well, and it felt magical. I've done tons of meditation, just hours and hours on end. This is so simple, yet my experience of it is it's so incredibly effective.
Shall we, for a few minutes, meditate? Please sit with your spine erect. Still your body. Close your eyes. It is important that you still your body. It deepens your awareness. Recognize how you're breathing in this moment. Is your breath shallow or deep? Is it fast or slow? Now move to the next step. Inhale all the way into your abdomen and exhale from your abdomen. As you inhale, your abdomen rises up. As you exhale, it is sucked in. Very consciously, make your exhalation twice the length of your inhalation. Take 7 such breaths at your own pace. Remember to breathe slow and long. Gently open your eyes. Secondly, Preethaji is making us conscious of our state of being at work. If you looked at yourself or people around you, you see there is a mad rush to do more, to earn more. If I may ask, for what? They keep doing, but never feel they completed the task at hand, or they were efficient and intelligent at what they were doing. They live rushing. And a rushed mind, it's very difficult to feel fulfilled. Intelligence fails such a mind. Learn to pause, and you would find you have more time for everything in life and more time to relax. You will not be tired. Rejuvenating your being would be far more easier. It is then you would find your work meaningful, for you realize the impact you are having on the other. It won't be anymore a monotonous chore. You will recognize the contributions you made on the quality of the experience of life of people around you. When you see the difference you make to the other, work stops being work. It becomes a contribution, a meaningful work, a purposeful contribution. Let us take a few moments now to reflect and appreciate the difference we can create on the other. Shall we? Gently hold your spine erect. Close your eyes. Breathe slow and deep. What is the last task or project you undertook at work? Move beyond the results in terms of money, profit, to observing how your actions benefited people. Did your actions make the work of your superior or your team member easier? Did it improve the quality of life of the other? Did it help your consumer fulfill his or her loved one's desire? Feel the smiles on the faces of those people, the lightness in their hearts, and the joy in their beings. Let their smiles, let the warmth in their heart fill you. Connect to yourself. Feel their warmth pervade your being. Let your heart dwell for the next few moments in appreciation of your efforts and the impact you had on the other. Gently open your eyes. Thirdly, Preethaji is bringing our attention to our relationships. We have pets. We have 2 dogs, and you see them run around. They're constantly hugging one another. They're licking one another. They are good playmates. They tickle one another. There is so much of touch. We have a farm, and you see cows and calves, goats and their kids. They lick their young ones, and the young ones nudge themselves under the bellies of their mothers so often. There is so much of touch. Trees connect at their roots and stay in communication with one another. That's how they weather a storm or strong winds or get through any challenge. As humans, how much time do you spend with one another? Not working together between the same 4 walls, but how much time do you spend bringing your presence to the other person? Do you hug each other? Krishnaji says, connection. One aspect of it is physical proximity. Spend at least a few moments in a day with one another, and let there be touch involved. A friendly pat, a warm, gentle touch on the hand, or a loving kiss on the forehead. They make a lot of difference. When you touch the other person, the stress levels in your body as well as in the body of the other go down. You both heal, you rejuvenate, your spirits are elevated. And actually, when you touch one another, the feeling of a family grows stronger. To enhance this experience of connection further, she is asking us to recognize the beauty in our lives, the experience that is shared to us by our loved ones, and to let our hearts soak in gratitude. The best way is to end the day reflecting and meditating on the gifts, blessings, the love you received through the day. You then would wake up to a more beautiful and a connected family in the morning. Let us take a few minutes now to appreciate the presence of our loved ones. Close your eyes. Breathe into your heart. Take 3 breaths with your awareness at your heart center. Bring the beautiful face of a loved one. Feel how the memory of that person warms your heart. Connect to one beautiful experience you had with that person. Let your heart savor every fraction of that moment shared with them. The easiness in their presence, the warm, loving understanding of the person, the gentle, caring touch, the kind words, the trust and faith he or she had in you. Feel them all. And feel this experience engulf your being, nurture your being, and either create or strengthen the faith in life, faith in the strength of a family, faith in yourself, thus opening a grander experience of life. Thank that person for this beautiful experience. And make an intention to nurture many more such experiences in your life. Whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. Next, Preethaji is bringing our attention to our minds, to nurturing a healthy mind. A healthy mind is one that can let go of pain faster, one that does not indulge in pain too long or turn indifferent to it. It is a mind that assimilates life easily. A small tidbit of wisdom that helps us is to recognize the flow of life. When you see the flow of life, you would know no event lasts forever. it passes. To support the passing of the event harmoniously, giving way to a better life, to a better experience to unfold, one has to dissolve the emotion. When setbacks happen, or when there is a challenging moment, we do get disturbed. Knowing it shall pass and let your mind dissolve the irritation, the frustration it triggered in your being, and returning to a calm state helps you have a healthy mind. To support this experience in you, let us now do the serene mind practice.
Welcome to the Serene Mind practice. This 3-minute Serene Mind practice is incredibly simple and yet utterly effective and can be done by people of any age. This meditation is designed to practice daily or as needed whenever you feel stressed. When practiced in moments of conflict, it leads you out of confusion to clarity. Regular practice of the serene mind breaks emotional addictions. It will take you toward a space of greater quiet where insights into life's challenges can present themselves. Please sit still like a rock, unmoving. Take 3 deep abdominal breaths with total attention. Observe yourself until you discover the exact emotion you are feeling. Observe the direction of the flow of your thinking. Are you obsessing over the past? Are you projecting a chaotic future? Or are you in the present? Imagine that there is a tiny flame at the center of your eyebrows and see it move inward to the middle of your head. Envision this flame floating in the middle of your head. You may open your eyes.
Finally, bringing attention to your consciousness. Realize that you are part of a larger consciousness, a large web of life. Call it the universe, higher intelligence, or God, or divine, or the sacred. But know you're part of this large web. And this intelligence, this large web of life, this body of universe responds to you, responds to your heartfelt desires. Connecting to this universal intelligence from a beautiful connected state evokes a greater response than connecting from an agitated, disturbed, painful state of consciousness. Let us begin this new year by doing the soul sing together with an intention that this new year shall be an abundant year for all of us and to our loved ones.
Sit erect with your hands resting on your thighs and your palms facing upwards. The tip of your thumb touches the tip of your index finger. We will begin with observation. Breathe slowly and be totally present to every inhalation and exhalation. For every breath you take, touch your thumb to the tip of one finger. So for the first breath, touch the thumb and the index finger of both your hands. For the second breath, thumb and the middle finger, and so on. In this manner, you will take 8 complete breaths. If during a particular breath your mind wanders, keep touching the finger and bring your attention back to breath. Let us begin. Let us move on to the next phase of the soul sync meditation. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, you will make a humming sound like a bee. Your hum must be strong enough to create a vibration in your head. Please pay total attention to the sound. Each time you hum, you will touch the tips of your fingers with your thumb, and we will do this 8 times, just like the previous step. Let us move on to the next phase of the soul sync. When you breathe slowly, there occurs a very natural pause between every inhalation and exhalation. It is a very minute pause. Bring attention to that point where inhalation ends and exhalation begins. Again, you will keep count of your breaths by touching your fingertips. You will observe 8 breath pauses in this manner. Let us move into the 4th phase of the soul sync. In this stage, you will internally chant the mantra Aham. Do it very slowly for 8 times. Inhale slowly, and on your exhale, whisper to yourself Aham. Keep touching your fingertips slowly as you do this. Let us move on to the 5th phase. Touch your index finger with your thumb and hold this position. Feel or visualize your limited self expanding into the cosmic self. Imagine your body and everything around you dissolve into light. Without boundaries, without limitations, into the limitless field of consciousness. This is an unlimited field of endless possibilities. Now make an intention for the fulfillment of any one desire or the manifestation of any one intent that you may have in your heart. Visualize and feel as if it is already happening right now, and feel that total sense of fulfillment and joy. Whenever you are ready, take a deep breath. You may open your eyes. Thank you. Namaste.
So this is an excellent guideline from Preethaji, and I'm sure every one of you will take this message to the heart and live your life this way. And be assured you will have a great year, not just for yourself. You will carry this greatness to this beauty to the hearts of every one of your loved ones. And that is the way to walk hand in hand with your soul circle into a bright year ahead of you. Before I take your leave, let me bring your attention to the Soul Sync Festival. We will be coming together in consciousness and we will go through this festival. Wherever you are, you have well-guided meditations by Preethaji. Soul Sync meditation with 5 different intentions. 5 different intentions that we all have for our own lives. You have the recordings of Preethaji available on the Breathing Room app. With these 5 different intentions, we will be meditating and we will be holding an intention for dedication, for a life partner. You may be having a life partner, but if you want to make your life more rich and the relationship one filled with love, that is for you. For prosperity, who does not want abundance? And especially when you come from a beautiful state, you unleash the power of your consciousness and the universal intelligence will flow through your life, making it abundant. For health and vitality, we all know by now, age is in the mind. You age less, you age slow when you live from a beautiful state. And that's the way to having a grand experience until the last minute. And therefore, it is for all of us. And lastly, for attention and intelligence. A young mind is one that can hold attention for long durations. And it is such a mind that's capable of great intelligence. You will have the power of the universal intelligence flowing through you during this meditation, awakening your brain to this intelligence and to attention. Join us in the Soul Sync Fest and let's all meditate together and walk into the new year with greater faith. See you all soon. Thank you. Namaste.